morning, everybody, wherever you are, however you may be listening. This is your Wednesday wrap-up. Hopefully you got some coffee to join us here this morning. How's it going, Herb?
I don't know. New stuff like we were talking about, trying to get all my settings and stuff. Am I even on air? Can you hear me? Are we good there?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
We got you.
Then yes, then I'm doing all right, man. Ready for the morning.
Yeah, well, you got a new computer, right? So that makes sense.
Yes.
It's that's never a fun process, even though they're relatively easy comparatively, right? To set up. It's logging into all your stuff and then realizing like 3 of the 40 passwords.
Yes. And then also noticing a lot of the stuff that I like to upload is on the other computer and I haven't transferred. It's just a pain.
Yes. Yeah, that is always the annoying thing, especially if you're doing like programs like Canva, right? Yes. Where you're like, okay, I have these
Canva.
But you have like some of them downloaded. So then you're just like, okay, cool. Let me go back to that. And it's like, oh, that image isn't on this computer. You're like, of course it's not, because I need it right now.
I know. Oh.
Yeah. Funny thing, mentioning Canva, I guess, is when you forget, you're doing it from your phone and you forget you put the picture in, but you do it from your gallery instead of uploading it. And then you try to go to your computer to do something. It's like, yeah, that picture is not actually in Canva. And you're like, oh, shoot.
It's so weird because everything else in your life is linked. If I'm on my computer and I look up an ad, for something, I get an ad for it on my phone. Why can't this other stuff that I actually need transfer over then? I mean, if you guys are going to peep in on my life, Well, if you're going to peep in on my life, can we do the stuff that helps me out too? That's all.
I mean, it probably could for a nominal charge.
There you go. Oh my goodness.
Oh man. So we did, over the course of this last week, we had the home run derby and of course the All-Star game. So got to kick it off with the home run derby.
With your boy.
The big dumper gets it done. And there's a great video floating around of him as a kid saying, I'm the home run derby champ, right? And then he does go on to win it. Also great story because his dad was throwing his pitches out to him. His little brother's catching. You couldn't get like a better story.
Right.
But the one that's getting people mad is how he got out of the first round.
You mean talking about by an inch?
Yeah, like not even, right? And of course, it's not like they know exactly where the thing would land, right? They're doing, the arc of the ball, and so they're sort of estimating where it would be. And if you're estimating less than an inch, at that point, and don't get me wrong, I wanted Cal to get in and win and all of that, but it seems like in that scenario, because they don't list the decimal point any other time,
right?
Wouldn't it just make more sense to be like, hey, you guys hit at the same distance. Let's have a 3-out hit off.
Right.
Right. It seems like that would have been, and Cal probably would have won that. Right. So it may not have changed the outcome of the day, but I think the guy that ends up getting eliminated by half an inch would feel less one type of way if there was something a little more defined about it.
Yeah, because that was Rooker, right? That ended out on the the first one. Did he say anything? Because that's really okay.
So that was from his camp. I don't know if it came directly from him, but like his camp was like, they don't talk about the decimal point any other time. Like what is and he does have a point. Like I've never actually seen that until this time through. Yeah. So like if that's and again, it's speculatory because you're not going to know exactly, right? I mean, because you're talking down to like the 10th and 1000th of an inch. Like, come on.
Right. No, that definitely seems like it. And of course, I'm like, so now I'm watching it today, and that's, I don't know if you heard, that's what's on in the background when I first came on. So I didn't realize, and I'm a competitive guy. I would be the person going, man, just give us, like you said, 3 more pitches. Let's settle this out there. Versus, and if you're the All-Star game and it's all about all this, wouldn't that be what you want? Versus, I think that guy won. versus, hey, look, throw these guys out, 3 more pitches. It's here for the fans. A little drama. Because I know we'll get into this later, but for people from the outside, I kind of enjoyed the end of the All-Star game. So if you give me a little glimpse of that in the middle of the home run derby, I'd be absolutely fine with it. So
yeah, well, and that's kind of the way I'm leaning, right? Like it's all about, watching the sluggers hit. And I mean, maybe it had more to do with they wanted to try and keep it within a time period or something. I don't know, but I don't think that, a 3-out hit off for 2 guys would have extended it an exorbitant amount of time, right? But it would have lengthened the thing 15 minutes. I think people probably could have survived that.
Right. Plus, it's not like NBA All-Star Weekend where we've got 4 events or whatever to try to get to. You guys have center stage. This is it.
Exactly.
You got fans in attendance. Everybody from home is watching, This is the time, man. If you can add a little, 5-minute drama to the home run derby, go for it, man. That would have been fun to watch. Yeah,
I mean, I would have been about it. I mean, at the same time, he barely sneaks in and then goes on to win it all. And it was really no question about it after that first round.
Right.
Like he was just mashing the ball.
Yeah. Just took him in to get warmed up. That's all.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I'm also impressed with the switch hitting, dude. I'm impressed enough at switch hitting, but switch hit, and I know he did most of them left-handed, but switch hitting for power to me in the home run derby is just that's amazing. Was only the second person ever to do it, so that's amazing to me also. So I mean, kudos to him. I mean, having an amazing season,
Oh, no question.
So.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things they always talk about is they worry about power hitters, messing up their swing during home run derby. But since it was his dad throwing it out there and he's thrown him a million pitches, if there was ever a guy that this isn't going to mess it up, it would be Cal.
Right.
I did find it hilarious, though, the last game of the Detroit series. So they sweep Detroit, right? And they come in and
thanks, Mike. thanks, Mike.
I didn't even look at the comments yet, but that is hilarious.
What up, Mike? Love you, man.
That is great. So anyway, that end of the Detroit series, they ended up walking him 3 times. They're like, you know what? You're not going to tie bonds or set the record against us. You hit 2 home runs off us yesterday. You're not setting the record versus us. We will walk you. It doesn't matter.
Yes. If you ever want to know how petty sports teams are, that's an example. I remember when Angel Reese had a chance of tying the double-double thing, and everybody on the Liberty quadruple teamed her at the end of the game. That was that sports teams don't like that kind of thing. So they're like, yes, I will walk you. I don't care what's going on.
Yep.
We don't want to be a footnote. So
that's the thing, right? Is
hey, what's up, TJ?
The person that sets it goes in the record book, but who they set it against also goes in the record book, right? So, and as a player, you're like, I don't want to be remembered on the team that got smacked, right? So they're just like, oh no, whatever it takes, you are not setting it against me.
Right. No, teams have pride, man. So they will go out of their way. So kudos to Cal, man. Now you're making me a fan. And so that's funny. When I saw that he won it, I was like, oh, we'll be talking about that Wednesday morning.
Yeah, well, I mean we would have
anyway.
Yeah.
But, I knew this one would be a little more special. So
and it's a cool story, right?
For sure.
If one of the other guys would have won, if Judge would have competed, right, and won, you would have been like, I mean, yeah. Right.
That would have honestly been my exact, you would have almost expected it and just gone, oh, okay. Right. Aaron Judge won the home run derby. Cool. I guarantee this, if he did, I wouldn't be rewatching it this morning. I'll say that.
No, for sure.
I would have just been like, oh, I mean, that's what he always does. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? This would have been a much shorter conversation about the home run derby because it would have been like, oh yeah, Judge won. Anyway. So
yeah, he was the favorite going in. He won it. Cool.
Exactly.
What else you got this morning? So no, I agree.
Pretty much. Well, and it was funny because one of the guys that people were super high on was Jazz, and he did not do well at all.
No. somebody posted, "Hey, Jazz, thanks for showing up, I guess." He made his promotional appearance and dipped out.
Way to show up without showing up.
Yes. I don't know. It's almost like he came there without his bat or something. I don't know. You're just
it was weird. It was weird. Like he just couldn't do anything. And there's always one, right? Like there's always one guy that just it's not his day.
Yeah.
Sticking with the All-Star game though, how did you like the home run derby extras instead of going into extras?
Loved it.
And the only reason I kind of liked it, the idea of it, is because when they ran out of pitchers and it ended as a tie, like I was mad.
Right.
But you know me, I hate ties. So
right. I agree. I get that. But I also get the manager's thing. Part of your goal in the All-Star game is to get everybody in. So you're not saving like 4 pitchers in case it goes into extra innings, Sure. And plus then I also get you can't tax whoever the guy was in the 8th or 9th or maybe even just the 9th. Like you can't go and all of a sudden ask this guy, hey, I know everybody else got an inning, got out. Now I need, 2 to 3 innings from you. I know it's not fair to you and possibly your team, but this is what so I get that whole thing. And I hope people understand I'm not a baseball watcher. So the stuff that I do is basically from the perspective of an outside person who still understands the sport. Not all the nuances like anybody else, but more of the entertainment value. So I pick up the game, because we had our show last night, 6-4 rally. I'm like, this is fun, go into extra innings. I'm like, and I didn't know the rule. So I'm like, okay, what are they doing? My first reaction. Oh, okay. Well, okay, good.
As soon as they started doing that, I was like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah. Okay, good. Then I'm not alone.
So I don't know if that was new for this year or if it started last year, but I mean, it's very new.
Right. Okay, good. Then I don't feel as bad for that. My first reaction was, well, this is kind of goofy. I mean, whatever, I guess. But then like the first round happens and I'm like, ooh, oh, okay. Yeah, this is, you know what I mean? It added a fun element to it. Seeing all the players out of the dugout, kind of living and dying on every pitch, giving them only 3, I think was great. So we're not just sitting there forever. It's not a true home run derby. Every pitch mattered a little bit more. I thought it was a great ending. I was, and what was it, Schwarber when he hit his the 3? Oh, dude, I was cheering, and I'm like, I don't even know these people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not rooting for either side. Yes, that
his last one was from his knee.
Dude, I don't know how you do that. I'm like, dude,
he spun down to get it and ended up kneeling on his follow through, and you're just like, man, that is no joke.
Yeah, man started praying in the middle of the game and it worked. So hey, kudos to you. I liked it. As an outsider, I liked it. I thought it was a fun element. It was the fairest way, I think. So like I said, you're not taxing extra players for anything. And it was just nice.
So the only thing I missed was it just the continuation of the batting order? Is that how they selected them?
No, they picked them. The managers picked them. And so, yes, they actually picked the 3 and their order.
So you got a team with Cal and Judge, and you don't put them in.
So my first thought was,
you don't
because remember I watched the home run derby after this. Yeah. So my first thought was it goes to Judge first. I was like, maybe Judge wasn't. No, but I know he batted in the All-Star game. So I saw, he went 0 for 2 or whatever. So I'm like, I know he's there. Does he just not want to do this? Because I'm looking at the names and thinking, yeah, those aren't the guys. Like you said, Cal's not there either. But that's when I'm watching the broadcast and I'm listening to them. They're like, the managers are choosing the 3. They're choosing their order. They know who they are. They just haven't told us yet. That's what exactly what the announcer said.
Okay.
But I was like, yeah, so my first, like I said, as an outsider, Judge is the first person that comes up. And I'm thinking, Judge must have been like, I'm just not swinging for home runs today or something. I don't know.
It seemed weird how in a home run derby extra innings situation, you don't use the guy that just won the home run derby. Seems like going out on a limb here. The guy that just won the whole thing, for home runs is probably the guy you want to start that off with.
That's what I would think. That's what I would think. I don't know why, and they didn't. I don't. Like I said, I'm listening to the broadcast. They never even like approached that subject. So I was like, maybe.
See, I just thought I missed it. But if you're rewatching it and you didn't catch anything, see, I just was like, oh, maybe I'm dumb and I just.
Yeah, no, that part I watched live and I had it up and I'm listening to it, and that's exactly how they explained it to us. The managers are picking the three. They're also picking the order. And so,
yeah, okay.
I honestly have no idea why that was. And I thought somebody, like I said, I don't really watch, so I'm wondering myself.
Yeah, that's bizarre. I mean, again, it was still fun to watch. We just it caught me off guard, and of course, I wasn't watching it at home. We went out to dinner, late dinner, obviously, but so I was just like, did I miss part of the broadcast? There, we just like re-showing part of Home Run Derby. Like, what is going on?
Oh. And I'm actually even reading this. Yeah, and that's what I said was the manager. Each selected 3 players.
Okay.
With the most, and then like Alonso, he had opted not to vie for his home run derby crown. He raised his hand for the swing off, so maybe it was some kind of volunteer thing, and then they picked from the people who wanted to do it. So I have to look more at it, but that's how they explained it on the broadcast. So they picked the 3, they picked the order. So it was fun. It was a fun ending, despite wondering where a couple of guys were. I think the guys who were in it put on a good show. It was dramatic. And then it's funny, Alonso raised his hand to go, and because of the way it shakes out, he doesn't even get to go hit. But, hey, still good. What's up, Mr. You? Good morning, sir. So that was pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was like right at the right time.
It was a fun way to end it. That's for sure. All right. NFL. We actually have some NFL news.
Oh, wow.
That? Got Sauce Gardner. The biggest contract for a cornerback, getting 120 million, 60 mil guaranteed, averaging 30.1 a year. I mean, awesome for Sauce. I don't think it makes the team better.
No.
Right? Like I don't think it moves the needle, but
yeah.
At the same time, you don't want to lose the guy either, right? The defense is the one thing that they consistently had, but having the most expensive corner, I don't know if really makes your team better.
Yeah, no. So, and this is, I guess, because of the perceptions of last year, I actually had to go back and look it up. I didn't realize that Sauce was still like the PFF highest graded DB from last year. Surtain was actually second from what I just looked at, because I think my perceptions of him from last year and then listening to some Jets, podcasts was that he had fallen off a little bit. But I think it was just the Jets were a train wreck and we all just wanted to get away from it. But I think you're absolutely right. Maybe it's what they had to do to lock him up, but there's so many other issues. It kind of goes back to a conversation we had before. Defense, great. We're going to pay the defensive players. We're going to try and keep this together. We're going to fire our defensive head coach, though, and say it's all his fault.
Exactly.
And then we're going to keep moving and still keeping the defense together. So I think the Jets are still the Jets.
And then get another defensive coach. So you're just like, okay, like what was the point at that point?
Yes.
So yeah, it's that one was weird. And then of course, Garrett Wilson, 130 mil. 90 mil guaranteed. Again, I don't know, like Garrett Wilson, fantastic receiver. I'm not taking anything away from him, but you're looking at a team that needs stuff and you are spending money.
Yes. But never fixing the main problem.
Not at the position of need, right?
Yes.
There's a good chance.
100%. I'm going to go 100%.
Right? That could be next year.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even have to worry about them getting to the end of their contract. They may not actually start their contract
Yes.
By the time they have a new quarterback.
Yes. No.
So
I don't see Fields being the long term. And look, I might be wrong about Fields, but you just haven't seen enough of the other stuff. The man was 4-2 and still got replaced in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, he was 4-2, but his defense was 4-2, right?
Right.
Like, I mean,
which you would think what the Jets would do too, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, but during that stretch, that defense was scoring points.
Yeah. True that.
Right?
True.
I mean, because Fields didn't do anything. Like, they were winning in spite of Fields. So, yeah, 100. I don't know why you're surprised at 100%. It is literally 100%.
Yeah. I'm sticking with that one. I don't see any way. I mean, what would Fields have to do? And like you said, it's an extension, so it's not kicking in what exactly yet, right? So would I have like 3 or 4 years on this to say if they have the Jets have a new quarterback over next 3 or 4 years?
Yeah,
then my 100% is correct. Yeah, I'm going with that. They don't keep anybody. I don't see the Jets as the organization to finally, maybe get the most out of Fields and kind of push him over the top. So if the others couldn't, especially with take a look at the dysfunction on the offensive side, hiring another defensive head coach, right? I just don't see it. Well, I was thinking 90.
But then not even just that. Think of the quarterbacks that they've had that they've ruined that have had success other places.
Yeah.
Right. You're talking Geno Smith. He just got signed for, $45 million a year. You have Sam Darnold, who just got signed for $30+ million a year, both coming off of great seasons. Zach Wilson, he's moved a couple of times. He's probably going to get his shot in Miami because Tua likely gets hurt. Right. So, I mean, these guys are all going other places and thriving. What's the one thing they all had in common? Oh, the Jets.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I'm with you, man.
It's going to be the rebirth of Fields,
right?
To an organization that routinely ruins quarterbacks.
Yep. No, absolutely. And like I said, this is not even necessarily a knock on Fields.
No,
I don't think that the Steelers probably did him a service. The Bears didn't either. The Jets will be the next in that line of teams to not really know what they're doing with him. So I just don't see it.
100%. It's not an indictment on Fields. I think anybody that goes there is going to struggle. I mean, you looked at Rodgers. He didn't look decent until the last, 4 or 5 games of last year. Right. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't believe in that organization at all. No. So do I think that Fields is the answer there? No. Do I think it's actually a Fields problem? Probably not. Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen him do anything special anyway, but then you put that on a Jets organization, you're just like, man, that's not going to be great. Yeah. So, and of course, when you're talking about Sauce, his goes through 2030, right? So, right, because it's a 4-year contract. He's in the last year of his other deal, so it doesn't start till next year. So do I think over the next 5 years they find out Fields isn't the guy? 100%. So if there was ever a prop bet where you're able to lock it in, that's the one.
That's the one. Now you have to wait to cash in, but you could cash in. Yeah, you could cash in as early as a year.
You could cash in later this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I give Fields 2.5 years at most, absolute most. And if they bottom out this year, they sit him and then they draft a guy anyway. So the odds are way stacked against him.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Ching.
Yeah. Way stacked against. I don't see any hope for him there. And I know he was just looking for a shot, but that's just not, we talk about it sometimes with coaches when you are a guy who goes to a terrible team just to get your shot at coaching.
Yeah.
But then that one crashes and burns and you don't get another coaching job. And you're like, well, was it really his fault? Or, did he go to the Panthers and they were terrible? And that's what I feel like with Fields.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the thing though, right? Like if you're getting your first shot now with Fields, he's had other stops. So I think he's in a bad spot. That was kind of like Cam going to New England. Like it wasn't going to work. Correct. And, when it comes to players, bad tape ends your career, right? I mean, it almost ended Baker before it really got going. So, but when it comes to coaching, when you go to an absolute dumpster fire, then a lot of times people look at it as, okay, that organization is suspect and maybe it wasn't their fault. So they usually get a second shot.
Right.
But if you are a player and you're putting out bad tape, man, it's hard to overcome that.
This is true.
And if you're a Jets team that can't figure offense out, bad tape is likely.
Yeah. No, and you're right. You're right. I feel like this is going to be the last. All right, you have a good one, man. Fields will hang on. He'll hang on. This is not going to be the last stop, but this could legitimately be the last time somebody's like, we're going to sign you to be our starter. You know, after this.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he's okay with being a backup, like he could hang on for years.
And I think he will. I think he'll be that kind of guy. And maybe, like a gadget plays kind of person, but not a starter.
And, who knows? Maybe somebody gets hurt and and he gets another shot down the road or something. I mean, because those things happen too. Right. So, it'd be a 30-minute mark. Okay. So,
it was interesting though. The Jets are trying to keep their team together, I guess. So that's, I mean, I guess good. And you kept two of them, but one of the things that Mr. You mentioned in there, Breece Hall, you got to think that he's probably a casualty in all this.
Yeah, I mean,
I just can't see paying the running back.
Well, that's the thing is they won't.
Yeah.
Like Breece may want it, but he won't get it.
Yeah.
At least not there. Like maybe someone will take a flyer on him, but he's not going to get it from them.
No.
But
no. I think if you're doling out that kind of money, and then you're probably going to have to dole out more money to keep your defense together at some point, and then maybe you're investing in quarterback down the line. Who knows? I think he's the one of those. You just see the league kind of shifting to where, look, if I don't get a first round back that I feel like is a first round back, then I'll just get a third and fourth round back and get a couple of them, and we'll go by committee. So
exactly. So. Yeah. No, I mean that's probably.
What's up, Brisky?
Appreciate it.
Sharpshooters podcast and a friend, man. Appreciate you.
Very cool. Yeah, so those are just a couple of the things that happen. Obviously, there is the Browns being a dumpster fire, and it's funny because it just doesn't seem to matter what the Browns do; they just find the wrong way to do it. But since we are at that halfway mark, we got to say bye to our radio audience. So those
Love
of you
guys.
On ICU Radio 97.3 Smooth Jazz. Stay tuned next. And if you want to hear about the Browns burning themselves to the ground, go ahead and tune into our YouTube channel at Football-Talk or on Roku, National Streaming Sports. Okay, so Quinshon Judkins. Assault, battery. I mean, they just cannot get a draft pick to work. No. And this is a high draft pick. Yep. And, best case scenario, he misses time with a suspension, right? You add the chaos of their quarterback room, and now you got guys getting arrested. And it's just like, man, this is the most Browns thing going on.
Yes. I mean, imagine also being the team that, signed Watson after all his tomfoolery. So this is, and the more you read about it, Win, we missed you. We paused for a moment of silence until you got here too. But I was like, I guess the show must go on.
Well, and we don't have Raj at all. So, apparently he forgot it was Wednesday.
I'm looking forward to that. Herb told me the show started at 8:34. I mean, this is just, and the more you read about it, you're like, and I still don't get you. These are the guys that give football players a bad name. Like you struck her with the closed. Like I don't even walk away. I don't understand what is making you so mad.
Right, that you're going to give up millions of dollars.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. I just the thing is it's not like the league cares because they don't. Like if this was just rumblings, but there, nobody saw it or there's no video or whatever, right? The league will be like, whatever.
Right.
But as soon as there's video or, enough eyewitnesses, stuff like that, it's like they have to, right? Because you're going to damage their brand. I mean, the best example of that is the Ray Rice situation, right? They weren't going to really do anything about it. And then the video comes out and they're like, oh yeah, no, like you got to go, dude.
Yeah. This one seems like enough eyewitnesses and filed right away. Although, I mean, I read one report where it happened, but then she stayed with him for 5 days and then left the reporter. So I still have to look up some stuff, but
yeah,
it seems like enough to move forward with getting him out of there.
Oh yeah. I mean, there is conflicting reports. So yeah, no.
Right.
Like, so as far as exactly what happened, not entirely sure. But there's enough similarity between all the stories that you're like, yeah, this is gonna go bad no matter what.
Right.
Like, he's gonna miss time no matter what happens.
Yeah. I only say that to point, not that I'm downplaying anything she said. I only say that to go to your point of how the NFL operates. They're like, we really want to, if the NFL can find it out, they are the place to find it out. But this one just seems awful from the beginning, and they're gonna have to take a step back. And it's like certain organizations like the Browns, this is where you do this at. If you're going to be a dumpster fire regularly, you go get drafted by the Jets. If you're going to do something incredibly stupid and be that kind of dumpster fire, you can go to the Browns. Like, what is it about certain organizations that just kind of attract this, because you just don't see this other places regularly,
I mean, there are those organizations that will see guys that have some character flaws during college and be like, you know what? We can make this work. The Browns sure seem like that type of organization.
Right.
They're like, there's tons of red flags. Cool. My favorite theme park has red flags. That's fantastic. I mean, I am for this roller coaster.
Yes.
Shout out Six Flags.
Yes. You want to sponsor? Hey, come on.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I mean, it's there's always those organizations like that for whatever reason. The Browns seem to be one of those, and they always guess wrong.
Yeah.
The Patriots seem to get the most out of them before they explode.
Yeah.
The Raiders always used to be, the Cowboys used to be, like, those were the organizations that you're like, they're going to take the guys that probably shouldn't make the league.
Yeah.
And they're just hoping. They're hoping it works out.
Yeah. But it is weird because the Cowboys would take those guys and still squeeze. I know we joke about the Super Bowls, but they'd at least squeeze some winning seasons and some kind of success and notoriety out of them. It's like the Browns get the exact opposite. We sign the most red flag guy ever and give him a guaranteed contract and get absolutely zero out of him, So it is so weird. Even the Raiders have had some. I know the recent run hasn't been great, but in the past, when they were kind of like the bad boy Raiders, they would sign guys, but they would still, get to a Super Bowl, have some success. The Browns, you just think of them as, we just sign guys, so all our publicity is negative publicity. Wow. Rod is that guy you wait for his entrance. You know what I mean? Like, if you're at a party and they're like, hey, is Raj here? No, Raj isn't here. Ooh, why are you just waiting by the door? I gotta wait till Raj makes his entrance so I can enjoy the party. So I love you, Raj, man. You're awesome. You're awesome.
Yep. Speaking of problems. Good stuff. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know what it is with the Browns. Like, they seem to find a way to make dysfunction more dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Which is impressive in a way.
Yeah.
But
it is one of the strangest things. And then to mess up one position so terribly, and it's kind of like you said with the Jets. Baker Mayfield has not done badly since he left the Browns, and probably should have just been there instead of this roller coaster that you have going. So,
yes.
And if you ever said they were going to have one team with 4 quarterbacks in training camp, I mean, why not the Browns, right? Why not add to all this? And then they were like, we need to take some eyes off of the whole quarterback battle. So here comes Judkins for you to throw in something even stupider. So
right. That was the coaching staff. They're like, hey, you know what? We'll still pay you if you take a dive for us.
Yes. And then they're calling them, we didn't mean that kind of dive. Like, we meant like a DUI or like a, beating or something.
He probably will miss some time. Yeah. It's probably going to be, and again, I don't know if there's video of it or anything like that. That I'm not sure of. If there is, you're looking 4 to 6 games at a minimum.
Right.
I mean, that just seems to be the standard issue. You did some domestic violence, 4 to 6, you're out of here. Yep. Just because there's a precedent for it now. So that's probably the way it would go. He would, nope. And that obviously that can get drug out if he appeals it or anything like that. I don't know why you would. Again, It sounds like there's enough eyewitness accounts that you're just be like, so I did a thing.
Yeah. and bruises and reported right away. It just seems like, that's going to happen. I agree.
Exactly. Now, I mean, depending on how the charges come down, if there's any kind of jail time associated with it, which is always a possibility, then it would be those missed games on top of whatever. So those wouldn't start until he gets out. So, I mean, it's entirely possible he misses his whole rookie season, if it goes a certain way. Oh, the court system's slow. So, I mean, it's not like it would happen soon.
Right.
But so they may preemptively suspend him. I mean, there's a lot of ways the league can do it. They sort of have their own judicial system that they utilize.
Yep.
So,
because even if this whole thing got dismissed, the league could still step in and say, we're suspending you the way they were things. Yeah,
absolutely. No. Yeah. No, he definitely misses some time, and he should.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Just don't be dumb.
Yeah.
I just
walk away. That's what I don't understand, and that's for any normal person either. Like, that's not even just in this case, but it's like you said, you've got millions and you've got all this on the line. Somebody makes you mad, who I guess you flew in for this whole thing. You know what? Buy her a ticket, fly it back out. Like, I don't know, put her up in a hotel, say, look, I've got extra change here. You go your way.
Yeah.
Here's this. I bought your ticket back. Gone. Like, well, I don't understand. Give me millions, and you're not making me mad for anything.
That's the thing, right? You're just looking at it as like, look, this is life-altering money, and you're making me mad over something dumb. Like, deuces.
Yes. Yes. Walk away, people. I don't get it. I don't get it.
That was always the thing that I just really didn't get about, guys like Aaron Hernandez. And, because you're just like, there's so many easier ways to handle whatever, but you're so locked into, I got to be just this hard guy from the neighborhood. And it's like, no, you don't, man. Like, you got the money, take the bag and be like, hey, you know what? Let me get out of this life. Or you got guys like John Morant, who's just trying to act like he's part of that life. And you're just like, dude.
When he never was growing up, though. Oh, now I'm sorry. Yeah. It just that one makes me so mad. I apologize for jumping across, but it always makes me mad. You were never part of that life. Someone had you 30 million and now you want to pretend to be part of a life that has nothing for you? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, it makes me think of the last battle in 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Have a real good marriage. That's the John Morant thing. Like, it always makes me laugh. It's like, dude, why are you even lying about it? Like, why do you care? Just embrace the fact that you had a great childhood. That's okay.
I know. With culture, that's a whole other thing. Why is having a good childhood something to be embarrassed about? I don't
know.
Raj and I had great parents. Should I not tell anybody? Like,
oh yeah, you got to keep that just wrapped up. In fact, you got to lie about it.
Okay.
No, it's I always find that weird. It's like, man, why are you trying to pretend like you're from somewhere you're not. Like, just embrace the fact that, hey, my life didn't have to suck from the jump.
Right. Right. It's okay to be okay.
Man. On that note, speaking of just stuff that doesn't make sense, stepping into the WNBA, the Connecticut Sun just seemed like the dirtiest team in the league. You know, having watched quite a bit of the WNBA, they have some ridiculous flagrants and then ones that don't get called in every single game. Like they're about as dirty of an organization, or not organization, but dirty of a playing team, and they're the worst team in the league. Like, so then you're looking at it as, are they just so frustrated?
Yes.
That they're just out there throwing people to the ground and hooking them around the head. And, you know, obviously yesterday they play against the Fever, and they, you know, knocked Sophie down with an elbow. You know, when they were here with playing the Storm, they hit Skylar, and then they turn around and hook around Gabby's head and throw her to the floor. And it's just like, okay, guys, like at some point, and yeah, exactly. The Sun are 3-19. At some point, the refs have to be like, okay, like we're going to tee you up real quick.
Right. To solve this.
Like you guys got to not do what you're doing. And it's not even like it's the same person. Their whole team is doing it.
Yeah.
So that's where the WNBA and, you know, their ref crews need to get a handle on it, because somebody's going to get hurt ultimately if you keep allowing them to knock people to the floor. Yeah. Now, if it happens here and there, retaliatory, I get it. It's basketball. But when you're seeing it every single game, that's where the league needs to step in and be like, okay, we're going to tee you up as soon as we see anything.
Yeah. I don't get, so with all the attention on Caitlin Clark, you feel like when they had their incident, that would have been the time the league cracked down on them. Yeah. And instead it just kind of slid by. But I think the Sun are just an extremely frustrated team. You went to the semifinals last year, you lose the entire team. Yep. The only good player you retained was Marina Mabry, who, by the way, requested a trade out, and they told her no. Then she's hurt and is not even playing. So you have like Tina Charles out there, I guess, who's kind of a legend, and then a bunch of people you just kind of threw together. And it's almost like the coaches have said, we're not going to win any games, so go out there and be more physical. And they have never told them to dial it back, is what it feels like watching them. You know, because you're going, and I don't know if you know, not necessarily like a betting thing, but you go and look at the spreads for a Sun game. It's like they're another team's favored by 15, by 18, by like on a consistent basis, which tells you like no one is expecting anything from this team. They're just playing for the number one draft pick at this point. But you don't have to take down everybody on the way there. You know, you can be scrappy without being dirty. We've seen that plenty of times. And they're towing the line. Yeah, I was watching the highlights from it and saw the Sophie Cunningham because he reposted. It's like the ref said I flopped. Flopped from the elbow to that.
I mean, it wasn't even subtle about it. Like it was just like this, and then it was like, pop. You're like, oh, okay.
That's usually like a review at the monitor sort of situation, not a play on. Yeah, I'm watching. I'm like, there's nothing hidden about this. There was no give this. Like you said, it was up.
Well, she crab walked over to get her.
Yes.
So it wasn't even like she was standing there and just like trying to act like she was moving. Like she literally like sidestepped over to get her. It's like, I mean, like that's pretty obvious. And so for that to be a no call, and then ultimately they're like, oh, you flopped. It's like, okay, maybe you didn't see it in real time, but I'm pretty sure when you review it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, maybe that wasn't great. And they're like, no, you flopped. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
And look, we know all basketball players, and I'm saying basketball, men, women, when they get contact, do they go down? So let's say the worst case, you said she flopped, right? Let's say you were right. She did flop a little. She still got hit with the elbow. Like that part is, you cannot dispute it. So even if you think she overacted it, it's still a foul call. Like you cannot separate those two.
Yep.
So no, I don't get it.
Especially when it wasn't incidental. I mean, when you're shuffle stepping over 2 times to then get somebody with your elbow, that's pretty obvious, right? Like, at least I think so.
No, I agree. And regardless of what, everyone thinks with Caitlin Clark, that is one of your biggest attractions. You're supposed to protect her or her team, especially from the Suns. You gain nothing by having the Suns get any kind of advantage. If they lose that game by 20, I don't even care if it's at home. Nobody's there to see them. They can lose that game by 20. None of us are going to care. Like, there's no advantage in letting them do stuff like that to stick around in games. Okay. Every league has that one team that's going to walk in, get blown out by 20 and walk out. Like, it is what it is. They let their whole team go from last year. This was going to happen anyway, but stop protecting them or stop letting them get away with stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe they are, low key sponsored by the right? Because they've been covering the spreads, right? Because they've been, we'll say out physicaling.
Yeah. Good phrase. Good term.
But I mean, so they've been covering the spread. But yeah, I mean, you look at that and you're just like, nobody wants to watch that kind of thing. Right. Yeah. Like, if it happens during a game, it gets chippy and whatever. Sure. Right. Sports. That's part of it. But when it's every game, like, you can't get chippy in every game. Like, that just means you're just playing dirty. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah. So no, I agree.
I don't know. It's that type of stuff is frustrating to watch. Like, I like the fact that the WNBA is very physical. I do like that because it reminds me of how, basketball used to be.
Right.
But then when you see stuff like this, where you're shuffling over to hit someone in with the elbow, or you're throwing someone to the ground, or, there's an incidental contact, but then you body her up anyway. And you're just like, okay, well, I mean, wow.
Right. Yeah. The Caitlin Clark one was absolutely ridiculous. Poker in the eye, doctor, 3 women standing over. I was like, and the league just said, oh, okay. Yeah. It's like, okay, I guess we don't really care as much as I think that we should care. So,
I mean, yeah, because it was just it was funny because in that play, it was 3 technicals, right? Because
and one kicked out, but then later, what was it? Sophie, had to go after another girl to get herself kicked out too.
Yeah, she straight threw her to the ground, but which was great. Yes. And that's because the league isn't protecting their players. I mean, and that's why I say, like, they got to do a little bit better job. I don't want them to get rid of the physicality of it, but when you have teams like the Sun that are clearly just out there bodying people because they can't play, that's a problem.
Yeah, and that's definitely the difference for me. They, bodying them, bumping them, that's fine. Elbow to the head, like poke to the eye, and then 2 women just throw you to the ground. Like, no, that's you've gone too far. So it's like they were mad at her for getting poked in the eye on that play. That was hilarious to me. I was like, why'd you stick your eye into her finger? Like,
exactly. Well, I mean, that one was so funny because she gets poked in the eye and then she turns around and she's like, because you just got poked in the eye.
Right.
And then someone just come up and take you out. It's like, and then at the same time, what did Clark get a tech for?
I don't know.
Right? Like, she was just trying to push the other person off her after getting poked in the eye. That's not really like, I don't see how you tech someone up for that. No. So yeah, like some of the ref situations bizarre.
Yeah.
And the thing that's funny is people are like, oh, are these people right out of high school or something? It's like, no, these were top level people at NCAA moving into the pro league. So they should understand how to call a game. It's not like the NCAA and pro is that far apart. And if you're at the upper echelon of your college, crew, how are you now just not able to call penalties? Like, I don't really get that. I got nothing for that. No. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No. Apparently it doesn't to the players either, because Clark was so mad last night that she started to go out for a ref. So Still want to see what's going on there. But the league in general, like you see it left and right, they're all complaining about the refs and certain calls or non-calls. So I don't know. It's a good point to be made. That's one thing when we're seeing instances here and there, and we're like, maybe it's just that, but it just seems to be all over and kind of not protecting your stars all over. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. It's one of those things they've kind of maybe never paid attention to. I don't know, but it's something that's got to be addressed.
At least they're consistent. Right?
You get D minuses across the board. Yes.
On Sunday's game here, there was the crew that night was very interesting because two of them didn't call really much of anything, and one of them was like every ticky-tack call possible. So you're just like, okay, like that's a weird thing. Like I don't know that I've seen traveling called more in a game than Sunday's game.
Right.
That's a strange one to call.
Yes.
Right? Because I mean, half the time they give people 4 steps at this point. Like,
right.
And so the one, she was just like, if your pivot foot slid at all, travel immediately. And, I've never seen that called.
Yeah, no. We have documentation where it does not get called,
I mean, yeah, you think of LeBron, he can basically walk it in from half court.
Rod is listening. You can't. You can't break up LeBron.
But yeah, I mean, so it was very weird to see so many traveling calls. But then, her counterpart on the court, he didn't call hardly anything. Yeah. So it's just like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, shouldn't there be at least some consistency within the crew?
Right. Like the crew just got together right before the game, introduced themselves, and just like, look, I got a little bit of headache. I'm just chill over here.
Right. You went out drinking on over. Saturday night.
Yeah. I need you to take over.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Hopefully today's game is a little bit better. But sticking with the fever, Caitlin Clark injured again, re-injured her groin. You would imagine there's a chance she doesn't play in the All-Star game.
Which is in Indiana?
Yeah, well, not just that. She's the captain of one of the teams. Gabby Williams for the Storm on her team. She ended up missing the last couple of minutes of Sunday's game because of, lower leg injury. She's not on the injury report, so she should be playing today. But, all of a sudden you're looking at teams that are getting a little bit banged up before this All-Star game. But tonight's game should be a midday game. So actually, as soon as this show's over, I'm going to be jumping in the car and headed to Seattle. But
okay, yeah,
because I got to be at the stadium at 9, and then game time is noon Pacific.
Yeah. Yep.
But they're playing the Golden State Valkyrie, and they are playing really good basketball. And the 2 times they've met them before, they have beat up on the Storm.
Yeah. I told you that's one of my bigger surprises. First off, the Valkyrie, I think because of the way they were drafted and people thought, okay, they'll be terrible, but they are like what the Sun want to be, with like a physical defensive presence without being dirty. And like I said, I think we talked about it last time. I was like, what's going on with the Storm and the Valkyrie? Like, certain teams just seem to be bad matchups for certain teams that you feel like should be significantly better. And this is like their kryptonite. I don't get it, especially kind of an outsider who watches a little bit here and there and follows. I'm like, I would take the Storm every time, and I'd be losing every time if I did that. It's wild to me.
Well, I'll give the Valkyrie a lot of credit. I mean, again, to your point, they are the definition of a try-hard team, right? When you look at them on paper, you're like, yeah, I mean, they're probably okay. But then you watch them play, and they're like, they play with a lot of hustle.
Yes.
They are out there trying to win.
Yes.
But not playing dirty. I mean, they're just out there, they're physical, they're fast. and it was really like they played the Storm incredibly smart. The first time they played them, it was they threw a zone defense at them that just confused the Storm, and it worked. And then this last time, they got away from the zone that worked the first time, but they were hyper aggressive on rebounding, and so the rebounding was like 2-1, which you're going to lose that game most of the time. Right. They had like 20, if I remember right, they had 20 second chance points. You're definitely going to lose that.
Yeah.
So one of my questions for the press conference this morning is going to be exactly that. Like the first time they threw a zone at you, last time they were hyper aggressive on the boards. Like what was the point of emphasis in practice yesterday? Right. Because they had Monday off. So yesterday was your only practice to get ready for the Valkyrie, but you have film of the first two matchups. Like, what are you telling your team? Because they beat you two different ways,
right, in
two different games. What do you try and target? Not necessarily to combat what they're doing, but to, go at them, right? Yeah. Because letting them come to you lets them win. So, now you got to press them and see if you can get them out of their game.
Yep. No, that'll be an interesting one. It's a nice one going into the break. Like you said, it'd be interesting to see if this is. You said Gabby's not on the injury report though.
Yeah, she's not on the injury report, so it makes you think that it looked like it was probably like an ankle injury or something in the closing minutes. So yeah, it makes you think that she should be fine. I'll be interested to see how she moves in pregame shoot around. Right. See if there's anything there.
Yep. And then you guess you get a couple extra days if you don't play her in a game like this, but you clearly need her. This is one of those games that, like, beginning of the year, you would have thought, oh, if there's a problem, we can rest her, and then she gets rested the All-Star game. Now you're like, nah, we need her on the court to win because this is a team that's got our number. So that's interesting how they approach that. Well, I would think Clark wouldn't play, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say they've also been really inconsistent over the last 3 games. So they need this win. I think they're still sitting 4th in the standings overall, but this is a spot in the year where you kind of need to keep the gas pedal down, right? Like you don't want to let some of these teams that are behind you catch back up.
Definitely. Yeah. 4th in the standings, Dream right behind them, then the Fever.
Yeah.
There's like a little glut right there in the middle. A log jam, as Raj likes to say, is right there in right there in that spot. Yes. So
the log jam.
Yeah.
Good stuff. That does get us to the top of the hour. If you've been watching along with us, be sure to like and subscribe. And of course, if you're watching on Roku, stay tuned for the next hour. Otherwise, we are going to get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. And I guess stay tuned for the press conferences as well. So
see y'all, everybody.
See ya.